Welcome to season 3, episode 6 of the Georgian Surrogacy podcast, the only podcast in the entire world that specializes about surrogacy in Tbilisi, Georgia, now heard in, I think it's 77 countries, which blows my mind. Thank you so much for your support. This week alone, I think I've had 15 or 20 little messages, not, I won't say the little messages, but messages from people that saying, thank you so much for your podcast. I can't believe that I've just found it. This information is so helpful. And hey, I'm just glad to assist. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome a new mum who I can now call a very good friend, um, and someone that I have been on her journey with from the very start to the very end, and she's still in Tbilisi, and it is my beautiful Irina, or as the Georgians say, Irina.
Hi, Liz.
Welcome. Let's take it back to the start. First of all, again, congratulations on beautiful Daniel.
Thank you, thank you. It's been amazing,
The
honestly.
most perfect little baby boy, those cheeks, that skin. He's just uh, a gorgeous, gorgeous baby.
Absolutely agreed. I mean, obviously, I'm a bit biased, but I love him dearly.
Yeah. Let's take it back, my darling, and take it back to, well, how did you get to this journey to start with?
Well, let me be honest, and not just that I'm doing this podcast, but this is the podcast that started it all. Um, I
Yeah,
go
really?
really it really did. I'm not sure whether you knew that or not, and I definitely didn't mention it in my email to you, my original
Know
email.
that. And the
Um,
podcast was in its very early days back then.
it was, but I go on really long walks, and I listened to all the episodes then, and then I was like, "Wow, oh, okay, let me let me find out, where is Georgia? Let me start reading about this." Found the Facebook groups, and, yeah, and through the Facebook group, so after having listened to all the episodes, I contacted you. I found your email address on the Facebook group, and that's how it started, and that was in September 2024.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
to,
It's just over a year.
just over a year, and yesterday we celebrated my baby Daniel's 1 month.
Oh, you know what,
Time
darling? And it feels like, you know, between coordinator and patient, I'm extremely fortunate because I am meeting and forming these long lasting friendships that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. It's so beautiful. And it's only just been over a year. And think about what you've gone through in a year. And I know we'll get to all that. If I'm a little tongue tied tonight, apologies. 11:30 here tonight. I'm recording this podcast. So drinking my tea and all right. So we chatted. I remember that.
We chatted, correct. And,
You were very
yeah,
nervous.
it's now 11:30 at night in Australia, and I'm quite sure that Liz doesn't sleep. I mean, for everyone starting out, I'm sure you have millions of questions. I had probably even more than millions. I'm a very, very anxious person in in life. And so I think I wrote Liz, I don't know, so many questions on WhatsApp, on email, freaking carrier pigeon, everything. And Liz was just there answering all the questions for me. Again, in November. And some I think it's, let me go see the agencies. And by agencies, I'm going to be honest. I mean, I had 3 shortlisted agencies,
Yep.
as all of of you
We're freezing a bit.
should, I mean, every they're really high standards. Um, and
Just a slight technical difficulty, Irina. So I missed, I think, dealing from Australia to Georgia this time of night. So yeah, we spoke on all the channels. You asked me a million questions, and then where do we go?
Okay, so I had shortlisted at that time three agencies, and like I said before, I don't know if it cut or not. I think everyone should do their research. Honestly, you will only feel more comfortable that way. Don't rely, I mean, yes, you can talk to people, but don't rely solely on them. Go with your gut feeling. And for us, we shortlisted the three, what I would say the three biggest, the three top agencies. And Yeah, again, I don't know if this cut or not from before, but I wanted to say that my husband and I, we live in Dubai and we have really high standards, I would say, and expectations. So of course, Chachava was one of our shortlisted agencies, and just based on all the information we got on, and based on actually visiting the agencies here in Georgia as well, that was the next step. And Dr. Ketty, I mean, she's the best and we wanted the best. So it was obvious who we ended up going with, and zero regrets, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry, that was in December. So spoke to Liz in September, in December, came to Georgia, visited the agencies, and then decided to proceed with Chachava. I stayed at Chachava for 21 days, doing the egg retrieval. It was that's not normal. So before everyone freaks out and says, "Ah, that's a long time." That's not 100% normal. It took a bit longer than expected, and I'm really happy that it took a bit longer because Dr. Ketty, she took the time. I wasn't just a number and it was a copy paste treatment. No, she took the time to have a personalized treatment for me and my situation.
And Katie
So
genuinely cares.
so yeah.
That's the best thing about her is every case is individual. It's not a stock standard walking into an IVF clinic. Katie cares. That should be her slogan. Katie cares.
Agreed, agreed. Yeah, so that was in December. I was terrified to go. I messaged Liz before my flight and I said, Liz, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I changed my mind. Let them know. But you know what? I wish I had started earlier.
You know
Really,
what?
they,
We all say
yeah,
that in hindsight, don't we? But let's just talk about while you were in. So you stayed in Chachava's accommodation, which is literally they're like little hotel rooms inside Chachava, and you're literally a hop, step, and a jump from reception, from the coordinators. You get breakfast brought to your room, and you were more than happy to stay there for the 3 weeks. And
yeah.
you were so scared to venture out.
I am not winning any explorer badges during that trip. I barely left the clinic. Liz actually was trying to get me to maybe book a hotel room for 1 week just to see something else, to walk around. But nope, I stayed there the entire 21 days,
But I was
and
proud of you because you did take baby steps after I was encouraging. Like just today, walk down this street, or just today, go to the market.
I did. I did all within walking distance.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, honestly, look, it was so easy there because everything was under one roof. And Yeah, Dr.
So,
Ketty's office, where I was getting everything done, was 3 meters away. So
so
it
can
was
we
really,
mention?
really
Well,
cool.
can we mention your age?
Yeah, of course. I am 38, 39, 38. Yeah.
And was this your first round of IVF?
It was in Georgia, which is
Yeah.
why it was very scary. I mean, yes, is it a huge procedure? It's not, but it's scary to do it in a foreign country, and especially for someone very anxious like me. It went all well. It went really, really well.
And from that, you ended up with 2 good quality embryos.
Two good quality, yes, and a few untested embryos as well.
Yep. So how many have we got in the bank now?
We have, what, I think 5 or so, and one that is tested and of good quality. Sorry, one other aside from
Daniel.
my very perfect Daniel.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So then, obviously, over the months, me and you would speak a couple of times a week. You'd get the reports from the doctor. You'd get the ultrasound. You'd get the scans. Um, for some of you that don't know about Dubai and the Middle East, very hard to get the messaging apps to work, especially for videos. So, we tried a couple of times. Irina's using a VPN, trying to get those connected, and we got there a couple of times. But it is a bit tricky with technology sometimes when you're living in those countries that have some restrictions on apps. Um, but you had a very difficult personal journey throughout the
Yeah, of
pregnancy,
course.
and your pregnancy was textbook. I mean, really, there was no complications. Um, e e Everything was perfect from day one. Your surrogate was amazing. Of course, I had met her earlier in the piece, and then, of course, I'd met her in Georgia, and then, of course, you'd met her when you came to Georgia, and you'd spoken to her on the phone previously to that, and then you're speaking on WhatsApp messages, and she was showing you photos of Daniel kicking in her belly, and, um but I do want to acknowledge that you lost your dad in the last few months, and you
I
were going
did.
back and forth to Italy to help care for him. He was very sick, and I just want to again extend my love and condolences to you and your mum and your family on the loss of your wonderful dad. And
Thank you, Liz.
as as we as I've said to you, the cycle of life, and your dad has gone free, he's flying above, he's in no pain, and in return, he sent you, your beautiful son, who is
Yeah,
healthy.
that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Thank you.
So, we were a bit, if you wanted to talk about some stuff, so do you wanna talk about when you arrived in Georgia, or is there anything pre that you wanted to talk about?
Maybe just to finish the timeline off, so I did the egg retrieval in December.
Yep.
I flew back on Christmas Day. I will never forget this. We were 5 people in the entire airplane. And then it was three weeks later, so in January, that Liz, that you reached out to me with a surrogate mother profile. Um, I had I really didn't mind from what country or didn't have any specifications, so we just said, "Yep, great, let's go ahead." We had the transfer date on the 30th of January, so end of January, and then he was born in October. So just to finish off that timeline, it was amazing. And I'm not saying that waiting times aren't different now, or maybe waiting times are, yeah, different throughout the year, but I think you just need to trust the process a little bit. I didn't have any demands in terms of the surrogate, or we didn't do any additional tests. Uh, um, yeah, I think just trust the process.
Yeah. And we really do look for the right surrogate for the right person, and especially with people, number 1, who are using their own embryos, because often you might not have any, but for some people it can be their last go. So Dr. Keddy's very, very fussy about, which surrogate is matched to which couple. Um, so you're right, it's about trusting the process, and surrogates throughout the year, if this is I think it's And it's, I think, something that me and you had spoken about actually in person in Georgia that, you know, it's not a factory. Surrogates aren't just walking in and out every day signing up and, okay, you're ready next week. It does not work like that. And we'll get to that in a little bit. Um, so we had talked about timelines, and now we'll talk about um, your wonderful surrogate
Yes.
who truly was just a gift from, whether you're religious or not, a gift from God. Um, so when I arrived, so when I got to Georgia, I got to meet her, and she, tiny little thing. Um, I noticed though from one week to the next, it looked like Daniel was ready to drop. There was only what was it? Was it 37 weeks that she went into hospital? She was feeling discomfort. Was it at 37?
Yes, 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 exactly. And
So
then I flew over immediately.
yeah, because as we know, babies decide when they're ready to come. There's not much that we can do to stop that process. So I rang and I said, look, she's in hospital, and I'd known from a couple of previous pregnancies that I'd had. Once they go in, they generally don't come out. So, um, and baby had dropped and she was feeling quite discomfort. So I said to you, I think you better get on a plane. You got on a plane, you got there at, 5 in the morning. And that day you went and saw her straight away, didn't you, in that morning? Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
I did.
Yeah, yeah, you did, because I'd spoken to you at like 6 or something.
Yep, yep, went straight to the hospital, saw her, she was fine, she was bouncing around, everything was fine, thankfully.
So tell me a little bit about her that you would like to share.
Oh, there's so much. First, I would like to say that I have 0 regrets about coming earlier. Daniel wasn't born until, what felt like week 45, honestly. I felt like I had been here waiting for so long. Um, yes, so,
Well,
I went to go
let's just
yeah.
clarify. They let her out of hospital because they were like, "He's not coming out."
They did, yeah, but they took very good care of her, and one thing I have to say is she was told multiple times by her coordinator, and yes, I did not know that, surrogates have their own coordinator. She was told, "If you feel anything, if you're at all worried, just come over, we'll take care of you, we'll check," which is really nice. That's peace of mind and something that I wish I would have known. I think I would have panicked a little bit less. Um, I wish I would have known how involved the coordinators of the surrogate mothers are. Every day they're talking multiple times a day. If she had any issues, she would just go to the hospital to the Chocheva clinic. Um, yeah, she was very well looked after.
Yeah, and it's something that I think is probably I know Chachava are probably only one of the ones who might do this, but yes, we have, um, 3 wonderful surrogate coordinators. They all speak multiple languages, so they always speak a language that one of our surrogates speak. I think people need to understand that the surrogates make the choice to become a surrogate, but just because they make the choice does not mean they're going to be approved. We have the strictest guidelines and the strictest screening process of anyone else that I know in Georgia when it comes to surrogate screening, psychological, medical, emotional, financial. You go through the whole ringer. This process takes weeks and months, and you might get to the very end and they might do another medical scan and they'll say, I'm sorry, but you're just not right for our program. They might go off to another clinic and be signed by them. But that doesn't mean that they are right for Chachava. And we are very, very strict about having the highest quality standards when it comes to surrogates. No one is under duress. everyone uh, is given, legal advice. There's translators, and really the surrogate coordinators are the three of them. They're just the most wonderful people. Olga, as you know, who is one of them,
Fabulous, Olga.
fabulous Olga, Marika, um, Mariam, they're just, yeah, wonderful. And they really are like big sisters to the surrogates. Anything that they need, they're there. They need to see a counselor. They need some financial advice. Whatever, do they need an extra appointment here and there? Do they need to go to the dentist? Do they need pajamas? Whatever it is, the surrogate coordinators are there for them. So you want to talk a little bit about your surrogate and what you did and what you guys did together leading up to Daniel's birth.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously we had a few weeks waiting, so why not get to know each other? I understand and I respect that not everyone wants a relationship with her surrogate mothers. But I loved those weeks. Honestly, I really loved those weeks. We spent so much time together. We had lunch together. We took walks. We did squats together, trying to, move things along. We walked half the stairs around Tbilisi, again, trying to move things along. And actually, I ended up having a very, very good relationship with her. And I know it's not always like that, and it won't always be like that for everyone. But yeah, we had a good relationship, and I think this will be for life now. I mean, we will always have this bond, and I will always be thankful
Yeah.
for her. Um, I also I also appreciate the fact that she was open with me. She told me how it was doing this process, how it was being selected. She said she went through these interviews where she was terrified. She was like, it was just one, and then another, and then another. And so she
Let's
was
just specify,
interviewed.
though, this was at other
Yeah.
places.
No, no, no. I'm saying also with Chacheva, she was
Okay.
properly interviewed to become a surrogate with Chacheva. It wasn't just that, like you said, she didn't just walk off the
Yeah.
street. Um, And she went various, like, medical exams as well. Yeah, and then she informed me that she had an accommodation with someone of the same nationality as her, so she felt very comfortable. Then after a certain week, I forgot exactly, she was moved right next door to Chachava, and we went together. We, visited her area around her house, and um, she had a good experience overall. She loved her apartment. She loves her roommate. And I was really happy to hear that. I mean, she was so genuine and speaking about her experience. She's already signed up for another journey, so I guess she was happy. But I'm really, really glad that I got to see that because it's everything that you can only hope
Yeah.
that is good. You can only hope that your surrogate mother's happy and being treated well. But now I know for a fact, I saw it with my own eyes. I know that everything was good and she was treated well, and
And let's just
I'm
take it back
glad.
for 1 second that
Yeah.
she also told you that she was going to sign up with another agency prior to signing with
Yeah.
Tashaba. So you want to explain
Yeah.
a little bit about that?
Yep. So she was going to sign up with another agency. They offered her, well, far less. I don't know if it's okay for me to
Just
mention,
mention it was
but
$5,000.
yeah, it was. She had negotiated then to I think $7,000, which is still ridiculous. So she signed by that time. She was going ahead with the process. And then as soon as she started, they started treating her really badly, not allowing her to go out, limiting the amount of time she spent on the phone. I mean, she has kids of her own. That's not
God.
right. So she said, okay, that's that. She's going home. And then it was her friend, who had already signed up with Chacheva and said, hey, if I can get you some interviews, would you be interested? And yeah, and then she decided to proceed. Um, yeah, and obviously very happy with that,
Well, of
choice.
course, she's getting fair compensation, which I gotta say, Chichava, Chichava pay the highest out of anybody. I think even more than some of the US surrogates get paid in some of the states in the US. Um, the money can set them up. This money is life-changing and sets them up for life. It really is. I mean, she can go back home and she can buy a house.
She
And I
did buy a
oh, she
house.
oh, she did?
She did,
Oh my
yeah.
god, how exciting. Oh,
I
darling,
know.
that is wonderful.
Yeah. No, I'm so happy for her and her family, really.
Oh, that's brilliant news. I'm so pleased. Let's talk about the birth.
Yes. Oof, dramatic.
Yes.
But before, before the drama of it all, you know, we went to Checheva. I met the doctor that my surrogate mother had chosen to deliver her baby. So she got a choice of several doctors, which I found amazing. And she chose Dr. Georgie, and I'm so glad
Dr.
she chose
Yorgi.
him.
Oh, we love Dr. Yorgi.
Yeah, yeah. He was so kind. My goodness, he gave her a beautiful room. He came in with like this fancy machine. It played classical music. We had like sexy mood lighting around. Um, and she was telling me because we spent like, ugh, I don't know, like 16 hours that day
Can I
together.
just tell you as well, and I don't
Um,
know if you know this, it probably will come to no surprises for you, but all those rooms were designed by Dr. Keddy.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. No surprise. I'm not surprised. Um, but yeah, and we were laughing. She was saying that, back in her country where she had her children, she said, she said, "My goodness, I would have never had something like this." She's like, I was told to come back when, the baby's half out and in a room with other women, and she said it was so chaotic and yeah, so probably no private, luxury room with Dr. Georgie's sexy lights.
Did you have the room that had the bath in it?
Yes, the bathtub, and again, we spent so much time together, we were joking around. I went in the bathtub
Yep.
and just to test out, the size. It's a good size.
Yep.
Um, yeah, beautiful room. And the nurses were coming in like every 15 minutes to check on her. Dr. Georgie came in like a good every half an hour.
Yep.
So, yeah, he was so kind.
So how long did labor go for?
I don't know, it was a long time. Honestly, it was the entire day and most of the night. So I don't know, 15, 16 hours or so.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it did end up in an emergency C-section. But, these things happen, and it wasn't anyone's fault. Yeah.
Yep.
One thing I do have to say is Dr. Georgie was very focused on my surrogate mother. He kept asking her what she wants. Um, Initially, she did not want an epidural. She said she didn't have her children with an epidural. But then, I think the pain started getting quite bad. And so she asked for it. The minute she asked for it, Dr. Georgie sent in a team. And yeah, and they immediately did it. So it was her choice.
Yep.
It's her choice when. It was her choice to have it or not. And it was also her choice at the time that she wanted to try natural for as long as is okay medically, and
Yes.
that's exactly what happened.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then tell me about the minute that you saw your boy come into the world.
Oh my gosh, I don't know, we were both crying. I was with my surrogate mother in the surgery room, in the operating room.
And
We were both crying. I was
where was hubby during this time?
So hubby was not allowed in. I was allowed in. So he was stressing. I think I had like 500 something messages on my phone all day. He was stressing outside, and I get it. Um, but yeah, in the operating room, it was just the doctors. Dr. Georgie, of course, was there. My surrogate mother, myself, and yeah, they pulled him out, and he said, look, he's here. Um, and at that moment, it's gonna sound silly, but there were so many nurses around the baby that I knew he was taken care of. So I stayed with the surrogate mother. I stayed beside her until the entire, um, process was over, until Dr. Georgie said it's fine. She's been closed up and all that. I just felt like she's done so much for us, for me, for the baby, that I needed to be there, for her. So yeah, the funny thing is, Daniel was with the nurses for the first I don't know, half an hour of his life.
Yep.
So yeah, but I knew he was taken care of, and yeah. And then I brought him to her, and yeah, I don't know. I was crying at that point. It's all a little bit of a blur, and I
And let's just,
didn't
can I just address an elephant in the room? So a couple of weeks
please.
ago, as you know, Daniel and your surrogate were actually featured on a news report on the ABC here in Australia. And then I did a podcast the next day addressing some of those comments. So you are the mother of the child
Yes,
that was in the story, and you are also um, in the partnership with the surrogate who is in that story.
yes.
And you also read the written article, which was slightly different again to what the news report was. Now, you just said to me that you handed the baby to your surrogate, which was an absolute lie in the article, which had said the surrogate was allowed to have no contact with your child, which is obviously very untrue from what you've just said. But I also know that, and I said this in my podcast the next day, you were with her. She saw him. She's seen him multiple times. Tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, even in the operating room, I mean, okay, she had her hands bound, but Daniel was brought to me, right beside her. She saw him, and I had absolutely no issue whatsoever with that. And yeah, the article really upset me because that's not true at all. And I'm sure she would never say that. I mean, we're in contact now, and she has 3,000 pictures of him um, after he was born. So the surrogate mother, she stayed in the hospital for 5 days.
Yep.
Daniel stayed for 3 days, and those 3 days we were there most of the time, of course, with our surrogate mother, with Daniel. We have pictures to prove it. I wish I could send it to, the lady or the man that wrote the article. Yeah, we have lots of pictures together, and I really, it makes me sad that was, I don't know, maybe twisted
Well,
in that way,
as you know, it
or
made me sadder. It made me very angry because there was so much misinformation in that written article and in that story on the ABC. And here I'm talking to the proof of the person that part of that article was done about. And your surrogate had nothing but great things to say along her whole journey. But of course, the media always wants to go for the sensationalism and talk about that one or two dodgy agency that do the wrong thing. And they don't seem to like to actually say the truth about the good things.
well, that doesn't sell though, Liz, does it?
No, well, no, it doesn't, but that's what I'm trying to advocate for, as you know. So, all right, so tell me, Daniel was discharged and you took him back to Maluna, his
Maluna, yes,
in his current little home.
correct. Yep, another great decision.
And that first day that you took him home, how did you feel?
Um, I couldn't believe it. Honestly, even days after, I just couldn't believe that this happened, and it was of course, it was a stressful process, but it was a beautiful process, and, yeah, I think honestly, even now, a month later, um, I still look at him and I'm thinking like, "Wow, am I going home with him?" Like it's amazing. It's amazing.
That's how
And
we
for
felt.
everyone listening, start. Don't wait. Don't wait like me. Just start the process. You will not regret it.
What the thing, you guys left Dubai as a couple and you're going home as a family.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
So talk me a bit about his personality. What are you starting to see so far?
Um Honestly, I don't know. When he was born, the next day, Dr. Georgie came to see him and to hold him. We took pictures together, and he said something so funny. He said, "Well, he has your blood type, but that's about it because he is all Christian, my husband."
Yep.
And in fact, he was copy paste my husband. But now he's changing. He's
Well, I
changing a
think
little
when you
bit.
sent me those photos yesterday, I'm seeing a lot more of you in him now.
Yep, agreed. I think so too. But personality-wise, I think he's also a bit like me. He's quiet, he's a very good baby, he sleeps. Um, yeah, I don't know, it's still early days, but he's
Of course.
quite calm and I was the same as a baby, whereas Christian was the wild child. So
Yeah.
let's see.
And what's and so you're 3/4 of the way through the exit process at the moment. How have you found that so far? Because obviously
Yes.
you are a Canadian. Well, we've got dual citizenship here. We've got a Canadian, you're Canadian, your husband's German, um,
Yep.
and you live in Dubai.
Yes.
So tell us
Yeah.
about that.
The process has been a little bit longer than other people's because Dubai does not accept temporary passports, so you have to wait for the permanent passport.
Yep.
Um, Having said that, before we arrived, I prepared everything. I was so stressed, like, okay, let's exit as fast as possible. Let's get everything done. And now, Liz, honestly, like I'm loving Villa Maluna so much and Tbilisi and the time I spent with our surrogate mother that I'm okay if the Canadians give me a couple more weeks here. I'm really okay.
Yep. Yeah, you
Um,
become in your little bubble and you really relish the time, and I think it's, I don't know, I see, I never had a baby in the real world, and, we've all had lots of friends and family that have had babies in the real world. They go into hospital, they come home, you get bombarded with visitors, you try to work into a routine, but I found being in our little bubble in Georgia, and I think you'll agree with me, just so relaxing and peaceful and no distractions and no visitors poking their nose in and trying to tell you how to do things as a new mother. You don't need all that. I just think it's the perfect way to bring a child into the world. It's so calm.
yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Agreed. And the agency, Chacheva, has done most of the paperwork for us. So yes, I had to prepare things for the Canadian embassy, but everything else was done. So you can just relax. You can just spend time with your baby. You can just enjoy the city, enjoy this bubble that you said. Yeah, the process was easier than I expected, honestly. I thought the paperwork was going to be a nightmare, and of course, you hear those stories, and
Yeah.
those stories are so, so real. But yeah, it's been okay. There
But
have
I
been
think
no
if you get it right
issues.
from the start and you listen to the experts, Jachava's got a wonderful legal team. You do your research as well for your own embassy. Things will be okay, but you've got to again trust the process and make sure all your paperwork is correct because just one letter spelt wrong or missing in the middle name or an embryo report missing the wrong date, that can affect everything. So you've got to make sure that everything is done correctly.
Yeah. And go with a reputable clinic because that side of the paperwork is mainly done by the agency.
Yep.
I mean, it's human nature, of course, to you know about the big agencies, but you're thinking, well, at least I did. I was thinking, oh, maybe the smaller ones, maybe they're better. Let's go off the beaten path here. Honestly, no, don't go off the beaten path when it comes to, the most important decision of your life. Go with an agency that knows what they're doing.
Yep. And I know one of your reservations at the start, and I hope you don't mind me bringing it up, was the fact that Chichava was more expensive than a couple of the others that you had on your shortlist. And, Christian was pushing for one and you were pushing for Chichava and again, it has to be a personal decision about what is going to work for you guys. But I think you've made a very valid point that you go with what's trusted. You go with, and I think the bonus of Chichava is having legal, organisational, and medical are all under one roof. It just makes life so much easier. You're not being ferried from one hospital back room to a different then medical centre in a different part of Tbilisi. Everything is there. And you know what? You've seen every part of Chichava now, from the hotel rooms at the start to, you know, going through creating embryos,
Yes.
meeting the
Yes. Yes.
coordinators, meeting the teams. You've stayed at Maluna, you've stayed in the hospital rooms.
Yes.
You've done a completely full journey.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm so happy, really, from the bottom of my heart, so happy. Ooh, there's one more concern I wanted to bring up when I started this process,
Yeah.
and you don't know about this, Liz, because
Oh,
I wasn't going to ask you this, but I had posted on another Facebook group, one that you're not in, about my concern that my coordinator, yourself, is not in Georgia. And how is that going to work? And
okay.
I was really worried about that at the beginning. I'm not going to lie. I was sold on Chachev at one point, but not on having an international coordinator. But I really, I wish I never worried because, and I'm not just saying this to be nice, but it made zero difference that you were not here on the ground at all. I
Well,
think
I was on the ground. Daniel just
Oh, no, I know you were, but I'm saying not permanently. You were
yeah.
here, quite a few times and made zero difference, and, yeah, and like I said, you never sleep, so you were always available. I don't know how you do it, um, and you were really, I would say, like, pushy when you needed to be, as in getting me to come earlier, which I never wanted to, and helping me out where to stay, um how things work here. I'm just very thankful. Really, I am. It was once we had chosen Chacheva, those were our two concerns. It was the price and it was having a coordinator not permanently on the ground and
But the beauty
both
is, I guess, for
leave.
those people that might be thinking of it or might be looking to have me as their coordinator, what they don't realise is Gwansa and I work so closely hand in hand that if I'm not in Georgia, Gwansa looks after all my patients and you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting me, the fastest communicator on the planet from start to finish, and my wonderful team in Georgia who, go over and beyond. And we are literally, in contact, uh, you know, every 2 minutes, during
Yeah.
during the working day. Um, and that makes me, I'm really, oh, can I ask you, what were the comments? Did people say, don't go with me?
Yeah, I mean, of course, people were like, "Oh, that's so odd. How can you have someone that's not, based there?" And
But
now
that's
that
the
I've gone
thing.
through the
You
process,
think
I'm,
about this though. There are so
that,
many agencies out there, right?
uh,
That are not based in Georgia. So you think of agencies that are in America, in China, in India, those people will never travel to Georgia.
yeah.
They're just like a third party. At least I'm actually working for Chichava properly.
And you've gone through the process with them. I mean, That's what kind of, yeah, got me so interested after I listened to your podcast. You went through the process with them. You're selling a product that you've experienced. I don't know how to explain it. I mean,
I
you've
don't sell
gone through
nothing.
the
I'm not a
entire,
salesperson. You know that.
no, not sales, but let's say you represent an agency that you've used yourself. I mean, what I don't know. Yeah, it's
I
good.
know, I know, I know what you're saying. It was, and of course our journey was quite unusual, and we broke a lot of barriers, doing a lot of firsts that had never been done at Chichava. Um, wouldn't change it for the world now. I've got, as you know, my two beautiful girls, who one of them just adores your husband. Couldn't couldn't stop hanging off him, both of them actually.
Oh, they're so cute.
They're very, very naughty. If I tell you some of the things they've been up to this week, that's for another conversation. Annalise cut her hair today at Kinder just because it was in her eyes and it was annoying her. She grabbed the scissors and just went snip.
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. All
Oh,
right. So
they're so cute.
what's not just, I know everyone says they're so cute. It's just, have them for a week, give me a little break and then So tell me, what's the plan now? Back to Dubai to get Daniel settled,
Yes.
have some
Yes.
family come and visit.
Yes, hopefully. And spend the holidays together. I mean, last December I was in Georgia
You're in
doing the
That's right, you're in the middle of
egg
IVF.
retrieval. Yeah. So this
Remember
year
I said to
with
you,
a baby.
imagine if next year, next Christmas, you could have a baby.
You put it out there.
I
You
did.
put it out there. And I love Christmas time. So yeah, it happened.
It's so exciting. What's the weather gonna be like when you get back to Dubai? What, mid-20s or something? Or
Yeah, the most perfect weather
yeah,
now. So
great.
really excited. We can be outside, go for long walks, continue listening to your podcast on my long walks.
And he can get settled into the climate as it gradually will start getting hotter as the months progress.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait. Now you got 2 pussycats, yeah?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I can't wait to see what he's
Other
like with
fur babies.
animals. Kids love
Yeah,
animals.
yeah. Hope so.
So anything else on reflections on this journey?
Um, I said this earlier, and if I could tell myself one thing going at the beginning is trust the process more. Because when I got here and I got to meet Dr. Tata, who was doing the scans, Dr. Georgie, who delivered the baby, all the coordinators, I realized that everyone wants this to work.
Yeah.
It's not just you, and you don't have to chase people and follow up, and they want, if you're successful, they're successful. They want this to happen, and they were so genuinely happy for us. So I wish, yeah, I could tell myself 10 months ago, 11 months ago, to just trust the process a little bit more.
But
And
I think you trusted it, and I don't think that you were an anxious, um, intended parent at all. I think you were just grateful. You took things in your stride. Yeah, a couple of times you might have got a little bit of a little bit of anxious, especially after, what things that had been going on with your dad, which was understandable. You were exhausted, emotionally and physically. Um, but I think you guys should be really proud of yourselves. You're the most wonderful, beautiful couple. You are born to be parents,
oh,
and now you're parents.
yes, yes, yes. And if honestly, if we could do it, me, honestly, one of the most anxious people, I really, really am. You don't see it. I'm like a duck, I'm very cool on the outside, but then under the water, just swimming like crazy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, if anyone could do it, if I could do it, anyone can do it, really. And start earlier. I wish I would have started earlier. My dad could have met Daniel. yeah, that is my only regret, let's say. But you need to trust the timing as well,
Yeah. Things are
and
meant
this
to happen in life for a reason at the time they're supposed to happen. I think in hindsight all the time, why didn't we try surrogacy years ago? But you know what, realistically, our only option then would have been the Ukraine, and then what would have happened? Like, there wasn't much info around about the Ukraine when we were back in the early days, so you just don't know.
yeah, exactly. Hmm. And, yeah, I've said multiple times now that everyone's story is different and everyone's path is different, and we were lucky that it was so nice and smooth for us, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen for you as well.
Yeah,
You know, just trust the universe and trust the process, and you read about a lot of negative things because
yeah,
that's what sells.
yeah.
So, for every bad story, there's, I don't know, 10 good stories.
And even on the
Uh,
support groups, I find a lot of negativity these days. And
yeah.
I just wish everybody would support each other. That's why I started these to start with, was to just give people information and support. And it's just so much backstabbing and so many not nice people who almost I try to feel like try to sabotage other people's journeys. Um, they don't want to be happy for somebody else. And I think to myself, all of us are either in the same shoes or have been in the same shoes. We all want to have a family. Please support each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, good things happen as well. I mean, not everyone posts about the good things
No,
because
that's
it's,
right.
it's I don't know, I guess it's more human nature to post the negative things. Um,
Mm,
but yeah,
absolutely. Well, I wish you guys all the love in the world, all the happy nappy changes, the feeding, the new outfits, the Christmas celebrations, the crawling on the floor, tummy time, and just,
cutting the hair.
yeah, cutting his hair, yeah, with the scissors. Teach him early, yeah? But, you know, I'm so happy that you guys are happy and enjoy every minute because it's so cliche, but it does go so quickly.
Yeah.
It goes so
And thank you
quickly.
as well. Thank you for your words and thank you for being there for us for the past year and you changed our lives, really. I mean, a lot of people did during this process, but you started it, you know? And we will always be thankful for you. Thank you, Liz.
You're very, very welcome, and thank you. I mean, thank you. Like I'm just again so blessed to give back to this community that gave me my life back, and you cannot put a price on that. I'll tell you now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give Daniel a big smoochy kiss and cuddle from Auntie Liz,
Will do.
and so thank you so much for joining me, and yeah, thank you for doing this podcast with no tequila as well.
Of course, I was tempted, I'm not gonna lie. It does not come naturally at all, but
Tbilisi
I
has a
love
really
speaking
nice
about
taco and
the
talo and takiki talo see, what time now is it? 12:10. Tbilisi
oh,
has a really nice taco and tequila bar, little restaurant in, the wine factory. So, yeah, if you just feel like a relaxed night out with some laughs and some, good vibes, head over there at some point.
agreed, that was a lot of fun.
All right, I'll talk to you soon, and thank you everybody for listening, and thank you for all your support. And I'll see you next episode. Bye.